What's good, beautiful people? It's your girl, Coco Divine, and I just had to chime in. I'm not going to even hold you. Let's talk about it. So, of course, as you can see by the title, this is about Kevin Samuels, and this is just my personal opinion. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Okay? All right, so let's get into it. So my thing with Kevin Samuels is I had a love-hate relationship with Kevin Samuels. I appreciated him because he started a conversation that really did need to be started, and a conversation that needed to be had amongst melanated men and women. And I do respect him and his craft for starting that conversation. He started out talking to men and telling men things that they could do to improve themselves. But he really blew up when he started talking to melanated women and just being raw and being like a shock jock kind of dude that just gave it to you raw, unfiltered, uncut, no rubber, all that, right? So I respect him for that. I do appreciate the fact that he recognized that there was an issue between the men and women in the melanated community that need to be addressed. And I did appreciate the fact that he exposed a lot of uncomfortable truths for melanated women. He held up a mirror to us and he made you look into your soul, and he wanted you to be accountable for your actions, for your choices, for your decisions, he wanted people to be accountable for how they presented themselves, and also hold yourself accountable for the decisions that you made in your past that are now affecting your future, and that would possibly affect any future relationships that you had due to those, poor choices that you made in the past. My thing with that is, yes, we all have a past. No one is exempt from that. Everyone's made mistakes. Nobody walking the face of this earth is perfect. And especially when you are a melanated woman, if you come from a broken home, if you come from a home where you didn't have a father, you're searching for that love and you're looking for that love in all the wrong places, and you end up thinking that you love somebody and you end up having a child with that person. Side note, it takes two people to have a child. Women do not procreate by themselves at this time. We used to a long time ago, but that's a whole nother discussion. So I just wanted to reiterate that. And I don't know the percentages or whatever that he used to bring out, but as far as I know, no woman is having children by herself, okay? There are men that are creating these children with her. It might be a small percentage of men, but, the numbers are skewed because women outnumber men anyway. So there's no way that you can have a smaller percentage of men that have children and a larger percent of women, because there's automatically more women on the planet. But anyway, I digress from that. But what I'm saying is, when you have all of these factors and then you tie in the fact of your psychological issues, which I do commend him also, because he was big on mental health. He was an advocate of therapy, which I also condone. But to me, the argument was a little one-sided, and it was very disrespectful, disheartening at a lot of times. And the reason why I think that is because the women who called in allowed themselves to be vulnerable to someone, this is my opinion, that was not interested in their type of woman. And what I mean by that is he was not interested in melanated women and older melanated women that have children, and older melanated women that are out of shape, and older melanated women with children that are out of shape, and that they're not the preference, okay? Let's just get it through our heads, ladies. A lot of these so-called high-value men, we're not their preference. In some cases, very, very few, small percentage. Yes, we are the preference. But we have been, I'm not going to say we because I'm not caught up in that, but there's a large majority of melanated people that are caught up in the modern, so-called modern woman society that have been led astray by Cardi B, Meg Thee Stallion, and the City Girls into thinking that they're going to attract a millionaire. You're listening to these rap songs like gangsters on the corner listen to thug music and drill music, thinking that you just a killer, you out here on the streets, you selling all this dope and all this kind of stuff. And City Girls and Cardi B and all them got y'all thinking that y'all just out here slinging this pussy and doing all of this stuff, and you gonna get all these niggas and you gonna take all their money. PSA, that's not realistic. That's not gonna happen. And that's not the way it really is in the real motherfreaking world. So, to recap, because I know I'm all over the place, but this is right, like hitting me hard right now. So I got to stay tapped in, turned on, and tuned in. Okay, so the cons that I had with Kevin were his poor delivery that wasn't coming from a place of love, and the fact that he was a spirit killer. He killed a lot of women's hopes, dreams, and spirits. He killed a lot of love in people's hearts. He killed a lot of self-esteem. He killed a lot of... And yes, I do agree. A lot of women do need to be taken down off of their pedestals as far as they feel too entitled. They have so many unrealistic expectations. However, when it comes to them, they are so willing to bend or to be compromising and to change or to be just do self-improvement. Okay? Self-improvement is the biggest thing. And my thing is, if you are on your spiritual journey and you are going inward and looking into self, you are comfortable with who you are, no matter what age you are, no matter how big you are, no matter how many children you have, no matter how tall you are, short you are, whatever, no matter how dark your skin, light your skin, no matter what your hair type, all of those things. If you know thyself, you're comfortable with yourself, and nobody can determine your worth except for you. Now that only comes with, like I said, going in and doing your own reflective work. Okay? Now, as far as what's going on and why I think Kevin Samuels was a spiritual hit is because we are living in the last days. We're living in a judgment period, right? So we're going to be judged not only for our own actions, but also for disrespecting the goddess in ourselves, okay? We're being judged. We're being judged for everything that we do. We're being judged for how we treat people, which I do not agree with women celebrating his death. Death is not something to be celebrated. Okay? You do a celebration of life. And for Kevin, like I said, I did have a love-hate relationship with him. That's neither here nor there. I'm never going to disrespect anyone because I don't want to be disrespected when I leave this plane of existence, okay? So when you do that, you're only exposing the demons within yourself, the evilness within yourself, and you're being judged for that, okay? The dirty deeds that you do in the dark that you think nobody knows about, guess what? They're going to be coming to light, and you're going to have to deal with all of your own shit. Okay? I'm still dealing with my own shit. So nobody's perfect. Like I said, right now, we're in a separation period. This is a separation or a great divide. Okay? This is where you're going to see the real from the fake. This is where you're going to see a separation of the good and the bad, the light, the evil. You cannot allow yourself to be low vibrational during this time. The last solar eclipse that we had during, I think it was the end of April or the first part of May, which is when Kevin died a few days after the solar eclipse. It's an energy harvest. Okay, if you go look at Isis Wisdom in her channel, she breaks down that divine feminine energy has been poured out onto this planet in a great abundance. Okay, if you guys have not been noticing the solar flares that have been coming down on the earth, the increase of the energy, the shifts in energy, if you're not tapped in, turned on, and tuned in, I don't know what to tell you, because now you have to have your spiritual eye open so that you can see all of the things around you, so that you can understand what is happening in this world that we're living in real time right now. Okay, this is not a time to be playing. This is not a time to be unaware of who you are. Okay, and Kevin Samuels, I feel, was like I said, his message was needed, and some of his points were really good. And like I said, it held a mirror up to a lot of melanated women, but he was disrespectful in his delivery, because the heart of a woman is very fragile. Okay, and even though, some women are venomous, their tongues are venomous, they spew out hate, disrespect, and that does need to stop. But like I said, there's a separation going on. Like they said in the Bible, you got to separate the wheat from the tare. And that's what's going on now. You got to be able to distinguish and discern a good woman from a bad woman, because now is a reflection of our energy, and what we're giving out is what we're going to receive back. Okay, so if you are a negative, bitter bitch and you're just walking around, all these niggas is dogs, they ain't shit, and they cheat, they do this, they ain't nothing, they ain't got no money, whatever, you spewing out all this negative talk about what you don't want, not realizing the power in your tongue, that you're speaking things to into existence, and that is what's continuing to cycle around and come back around to you, is that negativity. Once you realize who you are, the power in yourself, and you don't need no man outside of yourself to tell you who you are, you're going to continue to get that. You're going to continue to attract that negative energy to you like a magnet, and it's going to glue itself to your back like a goddamn monkey and weigh you the fuck down. Okay, when you understand that love frequency and unity is the only thing that's going to bring all of our people out of this situation, until you realize that, until we all realize that and commence to uniting, we're going to continue to be stuck in this freaking time warp of hell. Okay, so that being said, another channel that you should check out is Alexis K Tyler. I love her so much. She's my bestie. She's my BFF, and she does not know it yet, but I love her channel. Please go check out Alexis K Tyler, because she is the psychic medium. She gives so much insight to what really is going on behind the scenes with the whole Kevin Samuels death thing. Okay. Also, you need to research gematria. Okay. I'm not going to go too deep into all that conspiracy theory and sacrificial Illuminati stuff right now, because I don't have time, and I'm sure you don't want to hear all that right now. But that is something that is a factor, and something that you need to research on your own. The numbers of what happened, the days, the dates, the times. Look at everything. You have to look at everything. And also, I think that the Will Smith slap at the Oscars with Chris Rock, that was a foreshadowing of everything we're going to see going forward in 2022. The reason why I feel that way is because, metaphorically speaking, Chris Rock disrespected Jada Pinkett Smith, divine feminine energy, and let's say metaphorically speaking, Chris Rock represents Kevin Samuels. Jada Pinkett represents all the ladies that were calling in his show that he was telling they're average at best, or, they thinking they're a 7 or an 8, and he's like, no, you're a 4. All of I'm speaking metaphorically. When he embarrassed her in front of all of those people, millions and millions of people, he embarrassed divine feminine energy. He got instant karma for that. The instant karma was Will Smith walking up onto the stage and slapping the shit out of him in front of everybody, the same way he just embarrassed her in front of everybody. Okay? And like I said, if you listen to Isis Wisdom podcast, her YouTube, her Instagram, especially her Telegram, is fire. If you listen to Isis Wisdom, she breaks down and explains the energy behind the divine feminine, okay? And how now everybody's being judged by divine feminine energy, okay? So that's why I said this was a spiritual hit from divine feminine energy. Kevin Samuels was a spiritual hit by divine feminine energy. And it goes both ways, ladies. This doesn't just mean you can talk shit to a man and think you're going to be divinely protected. Because if you disrespect yourself or if you are out of line, you're going to be judged by that same instant karma as well. So don't think that it's just for the men, ladies. It's for us too. And that is why it is so important that we go within, listen to ourselves, do self-examination, do our own therapy. If you can't afford therapy, girl, you have to do your spiritual bath. You have to ask divine energy or source, God, Jesus, whoever you pray to help you to do your self-reflection and to hold yourself accountable, to forgive yourself. And most of all, most important, love yourself for who you are, the way you are. Because when you take off them lashes, them wigs, that weave, whatever, all that makeup, you wash your face and it's just you looking yourself in the mirror. You have to be able to look that woman in the eye and say, I love you. I forgive you. And you have to know your worth. You determine your worth. No man can determine your worth for you. And when a man, a real man, a masculine man that really likes women and really loves the black woman, so-called black woman, the melanated woman, the way she is, her curves, her big nose, her kinky hair. When a man, a real man really loves you, you will feel it. You will feel that magnetic love frequency energy within you, and it will tell you that it's real. And he will not make you jump through 1,000 fucking hoops, back flipping, spinning off a pole, jumping all down and around. You ain't got to wear this, you ain't got to do that, you ain't got to get no surgery, you ain't got to do nothing, because in your eyes, in his eyes, you're perfect just the way you are. And if only you knew that, he would love you even more. But we have to stop depending on validation from men to tell us that we're beautiful. We have to stop waiting to find love in somebody else and find it in ourselves. Because when we love ourselves, it shows, it exudes itself in our aura. People can feel it. People can see it. People are drawn to you because they can feel your love inside of your own heart for you. And they respect that. They respect that way more than makeup, lashes, weave. They respect that way more than the BBL, because they like, hey, she love herself. She love herself enough to go to the gym and work out. Or she love herself to walk around the park 2-3 times a day, or however much time you got to walk, however far. She love herself enough to wear her natural face. There's nothing wrong with makeup, wigs, weaves, lashes. There's nothing wrong with plastic surgery. I ain't saying I'm against none of that. I'm with it all. But guess what? You have to know yourself before you do all that stuff to enhance your natural beauty. You have to be comfortable in your skin the way it was given to you from divine source. Okay? Because until then, nobody is going to love you. And all you're going to attract is more brokenness and more self-hatred and more abuse of your mental and physical, emotional, and spiritual character. You can't grow in love until you love yourself. You can't give something that you don't know for yourself. And people won't know how to treat you until they see that you treat yourself with love. And that you're not going to tolerate their fucking bullshit or disrespect. They will not come to you with that if you know who you are and you stand in your power. So that's all I have to say about this. I love you guys. Divinity to infinity. Yeah, that's it. Be safe. I love you. Just focus on love and unity. And side note, another thing I have to say, women, we have to go back to tribal way where the women deal with the women. Don't go outside. When you go to a man, you should go to a man for advice on what they are looking for in a woman. Yes, but you don't go to a man to tell you your worth or to tell you, who you are, unless it's your family member, like somebody that's not looking at you in a sexual way. You don't ask no man how you look or what you need to change about yourself. Like if it's your brother, your uncle, your granddad, your dad, somebody like that, a cousin, a male cousin, yeah, you can do that because that's your family member. They love you. They've known you since you were young, and they are not looking at you in a sexual way. And 9 times out of 10, they're not going to tell you something that's wrong or to hurt you. They're going to tell you something to improve yourself and to make you a better woman. But when you ask men that are not attached to you in that way, that don't give a damn about you, and if you, oh my God, please go look at Alexis K Tyler channel, because when she goes into the underground, because I live in Atlanta, so I know what she was talking about, because she went into so many in-depth things talking about Kevin Samuels, because I know a lot of people, this is allegedly and controversial, but a lot of people say, oh, he's gay or he's bisexual. I don't know, because I don't know the man personally, and I really don't care. I'm not like that. Whoever you do, whatever you love, whoever. I'm like the type of person, you love who you love. It don't matter the sex, the race. I'm just like that. Okay, you love who you love. Your heart can't control who you love. That's how I feel. But I do feel that you have control over the type of person that you want to be loved by. Okay. But she goes into this whole underground ring in Atlanta of gay prostitution, blah, 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 blah. And she's saying that she's speaking to Kevin Samuels' spirit, and he's telling her that he was connected to that underground realm. And this is all allegedly. Please, I'm not saying this. I'm just repeating what I heard on a different channel. I'm just a messenger, but she's really the one that channeled the message. But please go listen to it because it's dope, and I really believe it because it sounds so real. It gives you a deeper insight. But when you listen to that and you think to yourself, man, a lot of these men are on the DL. A lot of men are bisexual. Okay. So the reason that Kevin was able to talk to us so raw, uncut like that and without respect was because he knew the real deal. A lot of these men don't want women. And we're breaking our back trying to prove ourselves to somebody who don't even want us. They may want you for the moment, for the night, for the weekend, whatever, but they don't want to marry you. And you are sitting here trying to prove yourself worthy of being a wife when they don't even want you. And especially the so-called high value man that has all this money. They don't want you because they are tapped into this underground world of male prostitution, of transvestites that look like they're men, that look like beautiful women. They have all these, surgeries or whatever, implants to look like women. They're taking hormones and doing all this stuff. They don't want us. And that's where he was right. We are killing ourselves, doing all these things to ourselves to superficially make ourselves look more beautiful. But on the inside, we're mentally destroyed. Because we have been through relationship after relationship after relationship of men that just degrade, just make us feel so unworthy till we are just mentally disturbed. We have mental issues and mental problems and self-hatred because we're feeling like, dang, why he don't want me? I ain't good enough. I ain't light-skinned enough. My hair ain't curly enough. My booty ain't big enough. My titties ain't big enough. My stomach ain't flat enough. We doing all of this for somebody who in all actuality and inevitably really don't want you. Or they're doing it because They hate you because they can't be you. Because then deep down inside, they're afraid to admit that they really want to be a fucking black woman at the end of the day. But they rather sneak and hide and do all this stuff on the weekend. They go hide and wear heels themselves and stockings. And I mean, just we got to open our eyes, women, melanated women, because we are the queen mothers, the cosmic mothers of creation. And until we know how precious we are within ourselves, and when we unite, stop being combative towards one another, towards other, towards men, we don't have a dog in this fight. Let them continue to argue and degrade on their own. That's why I was about to say tribal way. Let the men deal with the men, the women deal with the women. So if you a woman, you go to your elders, you go to your grandma, your aunties, your mom, your older sister, whoever. Get advice from older women that have some sense. Get advice from your elders that know how it used to be generations ago, and how you ask them how they got their husbands to marry them. Ask them the tactics that they use, because back in the day, they used to do like ultimatums. Like, I'm not going to be with you forever. I'm not going to wait around on you forever to marry me. And back in the day, we didn't have to compete with social media. We didn't have to compete with plastic surgery and, men posed as women. It wasn't all that competition. Now there's too much. You're competing with technology and surgery, and you're competing with non-biological women. Okay, and this is just the reality of the last days and times that we're living in. So you have to be aware of that, and that is all the more reason to be aware that you're rare and that everybody wants to be you, and stop trying to be something else that you're not. Okay, I'm sorry. I got on a rant, but that was my spiel. And shameless plug, everybody, please look out for my book, Uplifting the Forgotten Queen by Kortney King, aka your girl Coco Divine. That book I've been writing since 2017. I'm trying to get it done in the next couple of months so that it can be released in 2022. I also have a children's book coming out called Heirs to the Throne, and it's going to be for our younger generation. It's filled with words of empowerment and words that will inspire self-study and make our youth more they will be more open to their heritage, and it will give them the inspiration to show themselves love at an early age. Okay, I love you guys so much. Love yourselves and have a beautiful day. And I hope that day is as beautiful.